Hey everybody, it is Professor Parish, and we are on Module 8 of English 109. We're at midterm. We are halfway there, if you can believe it. Oh my gosh, I can't believe we're already halfway there. So yeah, I want to go over a couple things this week. I am going to talk about both Modules 8 and Module 9. You'll notice that there's only a guide for Module 9. We'll talk about that at the end of this video, but for this week, we do have two major things. One is your compare and contrast a draft, and then the second thing is the midterm exam. Now, I realize it has not been a long time since we just introduced compare and contrast last week, but next week is spring break, so I didn't want to give you an assignment over spring break, so we are doing the drafts this week. Now, that being said, we'll talk about that here shortly, but looking at our module guide, there are no textbook readings for this week, so consider that good. And then if you are going to revise your cause and effect papers, the revisions are due this coming Sunday, March 6th by 11:55. So email those if you are planning to revise to me. But it's totally optional. If you're happy with your grade, you don't have to revise. It's just an optional thing that you have if you want to do it. So our two assignments this week are the compare and contrast draft as well as your midterm exam. Now, let me go ahead and talk about the compare and contrast review. I realize that this weekend, I'm recording this on Sunday, this weekend your topics are due for the class. I understand that. So these drafts, I don't expect them to be long, but we're about to go on spring break and I know what happens. What happens usually is that students are like, oh, I'll work on my paper over spring break. And then it doesn't happen. So I'm trying to curb that. I'm trying to be like, at least want you to get something out there. So I do want you by Sunday to get some draft into this discussion forum. Now, unlike the last peer review we did, I wanted you to be at least halfway done with the paper. That would be ideal for this, halfway done, just a page and a half. That would be ideal. That'd be really nice. But mainly, I want you to get something out here to show me that you're working on your paper, to show me that you have something done. If you get the whole draft cranked out this week, great. That'll give me more feedback to give you. I will be able to give you more feedback. But if you just get something done for this discussion forum, that would be great. Just to let me know you have a starting point, you're working on the paper, it's not just a blank document. And I chose the gif of SpongeBob with the piece of paper that just has the word "the" on it because it's so true. You get writer's block and then you don't know what to put down. So I at least want you to have something in this document in your draft that you attach. Now, like I told everybody in the previous peer review, what you'll do is you'll click this reply button, you'll start a thread, and I want you to attach the paper, like select it from your computer and attach it. Don't copy and paste the draft into the you can go back and look at the previous discussion forum if you need some hints, but basically I want you to just click the reply and then go down here to this attach button, and you can choose the file from your computer, attach it there, and then where my head is blocking is, you can kind of see it here in the corner, there's the submit button down there. Okay, and you can type in here what you want, what feedback you want on this draft so far. Okay, so that's basically the idea of it. I do want to note that if you would like me to directly edit your draft, please attach it as a Word document, as a Microsoft Word document. That will allow me to edit the document. That will allow me to edit it and give it back to you, basically. So just make sure to attach it as a Word file. Don't attach it as a PDF if you want those edits. I'll still look at it if it's a PDF, but I won't be able to edit it. I'll just be able to tell you what you should change. I won't be able to actually show you. So if you want me to actually show you, attach it as a Word document here. But that is the peer review discussion forum. It's pretty much the same as the last one we did. I definitely encourage you to do it so you get some feedback. If you don't do it, then I'm not going to give you any feedback on your paper before you turn it in, which you should get some feedback. All right. So that's the one assignment for this week. The other one is the midterm exam. The midterm exam is worth 50 points. It is entirely based on our textbook. So make sure that you have your textbook with you to do this, because all the answers to the midterm are in this book. They're all in there. There's no trick questions. They're all there. And so I'll go ahead and show you guys what this looks like. So when you open it up, when you preview it, it's going to ask you, most of these are fill in the blank questions. Most of them are fill in the blank. They're just asking you to define terms from our textbook, to explain the differences between things. Like question 4 says in chapter 3, what are the main 2 steps of writing? Write that out. There are a couple of multiple choice questions. So if you scroll down here, there's a couple multiple choice questions that are in our chapters. And then the rest of it should be like fill in the blank short answer questions. There are not 50 questions. There's actually only 17 questions, but the total thing is worth 50 points. So you'll notice that like some of these questions are worth 3 points, some are worth 4 points, some are worth 2 points. It just kind of varies. So you'll complete the entire quiz, and then when you're done, you just submit it. There's the submit button at the bottom, and then it'll send to me. Now, I will go ahead and forewarn you. Let me click the student view and show you what it looks like. What you guys will see. You guys will see this take the quiz. There's no time limit. All right, you've got between now and March 6th to take the quiz. All right, so once you click on it, you can basically go through here. Then you go down to the bottom, and there'll be a submit quiz button, etc. All right. What it's going to do is, I will go ahead and forewarn you because I have a lot of students freak out after they get done with the midterm. The midterm, even though it's worth 50 points, once you submit it, it will automatically, I will have to grade all of the fill in the blank questions, which are most of them. So it automatically gives you a 0 because I haven't graded those manually. So if you get your quiz back and your grade suddenly, it shows you have like a 0 or a 6 out of 50 on your quiz, don't freak out. All that means is that I haven't graded the fill in the blank questions. So once I grade them, that score will update. But I've had a lot of students email me in a panic being like, why did I get a 0 on my midterm? I'm like, you didn't get a 0. I just haven't graded it yet. So once you submit it, if it shows back up, I'm going to grade them over spring break. So you'll probably, by the time we get back from spring break, see your grade updated. But don't freak out. It's totally normal. If your midterm shows like 6 out of 50, it's okay. I just haven't graded it yet. But those are the 2 things that are due this week. I wanted to give you most of the week to work on your actual draft. So you should be working throughout the week on the draft itself. And then the midterm exam, it's 17 questions. Give yourself 30 minutes to an hour. You can probably get this done. That's how most students do the midterm. But it's just to make sure that we go over all the concepts we've been talking about this entire semester so far. So I want to go ahead and pull up Module 9 because you're probably looking at this wondering, why is there this just single guide? Ta-da! It's our spring break next week. SIC's on spring break from March 7th through the 13th. So you will not have any assignments for that week. Now, I know a lot of people in this class are high school students, so you'll probably still be in high school during this entire week. So basically what I would like for you to do is, 1, work on your compare and contrast paper, because you'll notice Module 10 is opened up now. Your compare and contrast paper is going to be due March 20th. That is the week after spring break. So be working on your paper, 1. And if you want to go ahead and work ahead, I've updated the textbook activity and the discussion forum for week 10. So if you get to this week and if you're in high school or if you have nothing to do over spring break and you're one of our traditional students and you want to go ahead and work ahead, by all means, work ahead. I'm going to try to have the video for Module 10 posted by next week in case if you do want to work ahead, but that is entirely up to you. But I will say, once you get next week, those of you that are in high school, I would go ahead and be working on your compare and contrast paper. Just be working on it. That way you can get it done and out of the way, and you've got plenty of time to do so. I also want to note that those of you that are in high school, when you all go on spring break, SIC will still be in session. So as we get closer to April, I'll start talking about that. But just make note that just because you're on spring break doesn't mean your work isn't due. It will still be due. So I'm going to try to open up, once I find out there's a couple high schools whose students are in this class. Once I find out your spring break, I will try to open up those assignments early so you can get them done in case if your connectivity at home isn't good, things like that. But just be aware that you will have to work ahead if you are going to be on spring break at your high school. So just make note of that. But as we get closer, I'll make sure to find out what those dates are and open up those modules and let you all know in the discussion videos. So that's pretty much it for this week. Just working on your compare and contrast draft and then the midterm. We're almost halfway there. We're halfway there at this point. And then next week, you guys can work ahead if you want to, but it'll be our spring break. So with that being said, if you have any questions, please let me know this week. I am going to take my computer with me probably to grade next week. I'll be out of town, out of my office. but I won't be checking my email nearly as much because it's spring break. So just be sure to email me if you have any questions this week, and then next week I will have my computer to grade, but that's going to be about it. So with that being said, I hope you all have a wonderful week. Please stay safe, take care, and yeah, I'm recording this on Sunday, so I look forward to seeing what your topics for compare and contrast are going to be. I'm going to try to grade that this week, as well as your grammar reviews and the discussion forums, and then we'll go from there. So have a great week, guys, and email me if you have any questions. And enjoy spring break. Bye.